All right. So so the reason why I insisted to show you um, the multi-line tutorial was because there's this hidden Jedi power that Freecad has with with this ability that if you understand how to use it, you'd be like, whoa. So as I was playing with it, I discovered that as well. And I was like, man, this is extremely useful. So this makes FreeCAD extremely efficient in this particular kind of context, especially if I compare it to other programs like Revit and ArchiCAD. In this kind of fashion, using this ability in FreeCAD this way is very crucial. So instead of talking too much, let me show you what I mean. So as you see here, for example, I have a bunch of shapes here, and you can see that they all have let me show you the section of it. So let me select that section and go to true. So you can see what the section is made out of, right? It's one wall, and then it's another tiny wall, multi-line, and then you have the floor, and then you have some type of footer or a foundation of some sort, and then you have some kind of slab. Okay, so here's where you have the same thing now, and obviously here's the output of the section itself. So there are two kinds of output. There's this one which you can see in 2D. So basically you can actually, oh my bad, I didn't realize I didn't show you the full screen of what I was doing. Okay, so you can actually model your stuff in 2D in FreeCAD while it operates in 3D, and this is also very interesting if you understand how that works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a new file so I can show you exactly how this process works out. So let's new FreeCAD. I'm gonna reduce that. So one other thing is that, as you can see here, the model is based on one sketch. So this is harnessing the power of FreeCAD. One sketch creates all of that. So let me show you what I mean. So architecture. Okay. So in this example, I'm going to go directly to the sketcher. So I want to cheat my way. I want to start from the draft workbench. So I want to draw whatever shape I want. That's gonna be the shape that I use to guide me of some sort. So I might want to give it some specific dimension, just to be precise. So maybe 5. No, that's too much. 5 meters by 5 meters, like this. Okay, so now I have that. So what I can do now is that I can select this and do this. Okay, so now it gives me this sketch. So if I click into the sketch, I can get inside the sketch. So this is my new sketch. So so from here, now the thing about this process is that the sketch is not connected. So if I, let's say, were to drag that, oh, maybe in this instance it is because it's from the rectangle, but in some other instance it wasn't. So that's good news. So that means that I can now constrain that by adding my dimensions where I want to, if that were my intended goal. So let's just do that. Okay, so 5 I'm happy with that. Let's just be nice here. And so let's say 6. And of course, from the previous tutorial where I was talking about modeling with constraints and parameters, you know, this is a follow-up from that, because you know you are harnessing the power of Freecad in the sense of 3D. So let me close that. So now I have a make sure my plane is on the top. So now I have a wire here. Okay, so I'm gonna call this main sketch. Rename or governor, you know. Governor, interesting. Governor. Governor. Okay. So now what can I do? Number one, I want a slab. So naturally, I'm gonna come here where the structure is. I'm gonna say, give me a slab. I want a floor slab, you know, so I can control the height or the direction of the slab, so which is good. So I can have I can say where's normal, -1, and so I have my slab there. So now I can say I want the thickness to be 0.2, so the height 0.2 meters, like that. Nice. So now I select the same sketch again, my governor. Let's change its color so he's a little bit visible. Yellow, maybe this time around orange. Yeah, that looks good. Where are you hiding? Increase the line width. Oh, I changed the shape instead of the line color. Okay. And go back to where you were and shrink the line width a little bit. Alright, looking good. So there we go. So that's our governor. Now let's tell our governor, what else do we want, governor? We want a wall, governor. So let's create a wall. Select governor and create a wall. Nice, governor. He made us a wall. So now the interesting thing is that first of all, let me add a section plane so we can see through what we're doing as well. So I'm gonna select this face, make sure my plane is there so that when I insert my section I can see that. Let's increase it about the size of the structure itself. That's good enough. And so what I want to do is I want to move it a little bit into the center of it. That's the Y direction, so I'm going to scroll that, and that's good enough. Okay. Now let's bring back the plane down. Okay. So let me increase the arrow so I can see which direction it's pointing. Arrow size. Increase that a little bit. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to just add the structures inside, you know, the section plane as I work. So I'm going to select that and select that, which I already made, and get them into the section plane. So just press the add button. Okay, so now I can tell the section plane to extract its information, so which is what I have here. I'm gonna change its location, position, placement position. I want to move it down on the, let's see, on the X maybe. Like so. Okay, so now I have something. So in this instance I can say, okay, maybe I want to draw my object by just looking at the 2D, you know, maybe this is what I want to read. So I'm going to select the wall I just made. For example, I can see how it behaves here in 2D. um, if I'm the kind of person who works in 2D. So um, let's go to view, or I can simply rotate this like so. Okay, so I'm the kind of person who works in 2D, so I'm going to select the wall, select that wall, and I'm going to tell it center align left, update that. So you can see I can view how it updates. All right, so right, update. Okay, so something like that. So let's pretend that that was my interior wall, and I wanted the height, the thickness maybe to be at 0.3, so to speak, So you can see how I can now begin to generate the model quite fast this way. So I said to myself, maybe I need a slab. I need a slab on top there. So I select the same governor. I tell the governor, I want a slab. So governor tells me, well, I can give you a slab as well. Um, so governor gives me a new slab. So mind you that I'm still not looking. So I want to see where the slab is. So I'm going to select a slab and add him inside the section like this. And so now I can see my slab. So now my slab, I'm gonna tell him I want you to be a 0.2 thickness as well, the width, instead of being the height, I mean 0.2. Okay, now I'm gonna tell my guy to go at a height of 3, right? So I'm gonna tell him to be at a height of 3 meters from the ground, so which is the placement of the the placement. Where are you? Placement, placement, placement. Am I sure selecting the right person? Okay, placement. Okay, good. Placement position 3M. Okay, so you see how everything updates. So in the meantime, the 3D is just naturally updating itself as well, so I can also be using the 3D to generate these things as I want. So I want to maybe let's say cut view true. Okay, so this is my cut view. So maybe you don't like this view, I don't know. Oh wow, it's cutting here as well. So let's move this guy a little bit up on the X. So right here, okay, that's good enough. And here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna generate another one of these guys. So I'm gonna tell it to generate one, which I have here, and instead I'm going to go to the data where it says projection, individual faces. Actually no, I think it's cut faces. Yeah, so there you go. So you have cut faces. If you say cut lines, it would just give you the lines that you can control, the line color. Let's say you want a blue or something like that, and we want the thickness of let's say 3. Maybe I don't like the blue a lot. I want something kind of cool. Okay, something like that. And so maybe I can tell it to have a face, because I want a face. Okay, maybe the other color doesn't look really good, so let's go back to black. Whatever. So that's how you can get the feel, but the feel allows you to control the hatch and the texture or whatnot. So now you can continue to upgrade your model this way. So let's say I want a second wall. So I select my governor again. I tell my governor, well, governor, I'm not done building with you. I want my interior wall. I want, maybe I want a very thin layer of plaster or something, maybe 10 millimeters. So I'm going to say, governor, give me a wall of 10 millimeters. Governor gives me a wall. I select the wall. Maybe I can rename it, I say wall dash interior wall dash, I don't know, is it maybe 0.01 millimeters thick. So I tell my wall, I want you to be inside my section so I can see you as well. Jump in there, so automatically it updates here, and obviously I can see it here, right? So now I tell it, well, now b 0.1 millimeters. Where are you? Width 0.1. Okay, he's in position, but he's not inside, so I want you to be inside my wall. So let's go to top view. I want you to be on this side. So what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna assign the direction. I want it to be, I think, right. Okay, so it's inside. So now I'm going to offset that guy by 0.3 0.3. Where are you? Offset 0.3 m, like this. There you go. And so maybe, you know, I want to create a very fancy stuff where, you know, I have a little recess here, you know, of some sort, like I showed you in the previous tutorial. So I'm gonna come here to the height and I'm gonna say 2.9, you know, like that. It gives me this nice recess thing. Yeah, good, go on. Good. You know, maybe I want to give it a texture or a color as well. So I want you to be what, you know, an interior color would be some type of beige, you know, maybe. Uh, let's go with that. Okay, we're in business. Now I say, well, you know, I live in North America, and typically, you know, we have this way of building with bricks on the outside. You know, it has a physical property as well as an aesthetic appeal, you know, something like that. So what you will do is say, well, governor, give me another wall. So governor gives you another wall, and you tell him, you know, this is gonna be my exterior brick. Rename ext brick, you know. And so you tell that exterior brick, I want you to be inside my section as well, so I can see you. So I build that like that. So come to the top here, and so what I'm gonna align this. I'm gonna tell it to be left align, like this. Okay, but I want to create the gap of space. You know, maybe that gap is gonna be 0.3 or 0.02, maybe 0.1, 0.1 m. There you go. I have my gap of space. Now you say, well, I need a footer for all of these guys. You know, governor, I need a footer. I need a footer for my, you know, for my brick wall. It needs to rest on something, you know, something. So I'm gonna select. I'm gonna tell governor I need something. So I select a wall. You know, governor gives me another wall. So I'm gonna call it brick footer. Rename brick footer, like that. And so it's just basically another wall like this. Where is it? As you can see, it created another wall. So I'm gonna select the wall, and I'm gonna tell the wall, get inside my section again. Do that, add that. So now what I'm gonna do here is that go to the top again, or I can actually just view it from here. Select that, and I'm going to change the height. Where is it? The height 0.1 or 0.2 in terms of height. There you go. You see my guy is over here, and I'm gonna tell him to be center align or left, you know. There you go. As you see there, he moved to the left. And now I'm gonna change its thickness. The thickness will be, the width will be, let's say 604, actually 4, no 4. Yeah, 4 is good. 4 is good. No, maybe 6. Let's go with 6. Okay. But you see, it's still on top of the ground level. I want it to be below. So what you would do is you would change the normal where you'd say -1. And so with -1, it went back to its original position. So what you do in that instance is that you change the alignment where you tell it to be right instead, like that. So as you can see, my 2D is also evolving as well as I am generating the 3D. And so this is true BIM, you know, this is how BIM should work in a sense. So let's continue. Actually, let me save that. Save that. I'm gonna rename that you know, what am I gonna rename this? Power of parametric sketcher. In BIM. Well, maybe parametric sketcher with fast BIM modeling. Alright, sounds good. So for now, save that there. Okay, good. Okay, so something's missing. Maybe you would say, well, you know, I need a cap on my roof and something along those lines or whatever. So you say, well, governor, give me a cap. You know, it's a governor, give me a cap. Well, you take governor. You know, create another wall. Governor gives you a wall. You say cap. You know, you call it cap. Rename that cap. Okay, so you give it a thickness of maybe 0.2 as well, a height of 0.2, 0.2, like that. Where are we, Mr. Cap? Are we hiding in there? We're doing good. So let's add Mr. Cap into the section. Add Mr. Cap into the section. Okay, Mr. Cap is in the section now. So what we do is that we select Mr. Cap and we tell it to also move on the outside. So we tell it to be center or left. Actually, right, like this. Okay. We can simply offset Mr. Cap along the position of it, you know, where it says we can move you to 3M. No, not 6. 3M. Like that, Mr. Cap. No, not 3 millimeters, Mr. Cap. 3M, exactly. So we have a nice cap. You know, we say, well, maybe, you know, we want it to match a little bit what, you know, well, at this point we can say, you know, maybe we want it to match the one on the ground a little bit. So we're gonna change the thickness. We're gonna go to 4, maybe, like this. And our 2D is evolving nicely, you know. That's the crucial part. So you say, well, you know, maybe I want it to be at 5, you know, maybe not 4, 5. You know, aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so maybe we want another layer. You see, well, I want a foundation, you know, so it's a governor. Give me a foundation. I still select my governor. This is my governor. It's almost invisible there. We can't see governor. Governor's hiding. So we select governor. Take governor. Governor. We want a foundation. Well, we tell governor. Rename that foundation. Foundation. Okay, governor. Governor gave us foundation. So what do we do with governor now? With foundation. So we create a foundation. So we add the foundation to the section. Add the foundation to the section. So we have our foundation. So now give our foundation some properties. So move the foundation down to what? Let's look at the 2D and see what the 2D says. First, we want the foundation at is probably 0.6 thick. Not millimeters, given foundation guy. 6, right, like this. Now we want you to be negative along the normal of the y of the z, -1, like this. There you go. And now you're gonna have an offset of 0.2, right? So the offset, where are we? In the placement, position, z, and you see 0.2 m. Okay, so he understood me in the other way, so I'll say -0.2, like that. Looking good. So now we say, well, you don't really look quite, we need some meat on you, because you need to support a big structure. You're not quite there. So we're gonna increase the thickness. We're gonna say, well, maybe what if we made you solid, like the Greek used to build with solid foundations, so we're gonna go to, let's say, 6. What happens? Yeah, that's looking interesting. That's looking very, very interesting. So we have a foundation. Maybe maybe I'm not very satisfied. I don't really trust you. I want you to be bigger than that. So I'm gonna go with 7. Okay, now we're in business. Okay, like so. So, maybe, we're, we need some kind of cap here a little bit, some type of something, just something. So what we're gonna do is tell governor, we need something up there. Rename that. We'll call that roof decor, I guess. So tell the roof decor to get inside the structure. Where are we? To get inside the section, you add him. Bingo. So now you select the roof decor. I want you to have a height of let's say 0.1 meters. Height 0.1 meters, like this. There you go. You're looking nice. So maybe I want to move you all the way to 3.2. So I'm gonna change your location. No, placement, position, and I'm gonna go to 3.2 m, right there. And so now I'm just gonna increase you a little bit with your width. Maybe go to 5. What do I have? Nice. I like to see stuff like that. Okay, so what do we have in 3D? So now you begin to see that we can actually create a very complex structure very quickly. And for example, if I were to tell that false, cut view false. You know, on the outside it doesn't look like much, but you know, obviously the section speaks for itself. So you can see that, you know, very quickly with just one line. So let's go and tell governor to change some properties. You know, we want you to be 20, governor, 20, right? 20, close. So you see how the drawing is immediately updated. Change that. Position, placement, position along the Y. Okay, so it needs a little bit of update work, but you can see how, let's see, I want you to show true. Okay, you do not update. Why? Are you broken? Let's see. Move that up. Update everyone. Okay. Maybe just a little, you know, cannot compute inventor representation. Okay. So you can see how you know, you can easily begin to control with just one sketch. One sketch can begin to govern all of this information, and you can even make it even more complex than that, right? So for example, let's see, let's go back to governor. Let's go and talk to governor again. This is governor. Hold on, let me close this. True and false. No, what did you do? Only solid true. Okay, that's true. But what I want you is view, cut view false. Okay, good. So now let's go back and talk to our governor. This is our governor. Let's say governor. Let me file save that. So now let's say governor. Well, I want you to build me a small city, a small congregation, a small farm, or whatever. You know. I'm going to select another box here, do this, do that, and then do this, and then do that. You know, and then I'm going to select this one. You know, I can even take a triangle. Okay. Governor is thinking. Okay. So now I say close that. So this is the power of Freecad, you know, this is the power of BIM. This is the power of Freecad's capacity to do stuff. This is the real deal, man. This is the real deal. So I just thought I would show you this because this is crucial. This is so basically you can now in this kind of example, there's a very interesting behavior that occurs, is that some of these sketches, your sketch has to be closed. It has to think of it as a closed object, you know. For now, there's no particular way to tell the specific lines to, say, for example, have a normal along the inside or the outside of this of something. So that's why these particular boxes are not exactly behaving well if we were to look at what's actually going on inside. So actually, let me show you. I'm gonna move this box along the area where the section is being generated, and you can see how it's thinking because it's computing all of this information. Okay, so close that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna update this I'm gonna update that maybe by shaking a little bit the position so it allows me to the ability to recompute. Okay, so you can see so what's happening in these other instances is that it's reversing some of the elements. Like you will see the 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 inner wall is on the outside, for example, and so this exterior footing for the exterior wall, this one is on the inside. So let me actually bring the section up, cut that, view false, true. Okay, so as you can see, this is what's happening. You know, but it has some applications and some useful and some uses. So now in these instances, because inside our sketches we're creating closed faces, this is what allows it to generate the structure. For example, you know, the structure like the slabs that we see here. But so this is why if you were to use this kind of stuff, you'll be a bit mindful of, let's say, let me show you what I mean. Bring this back, false. So let's go into the sketch. Let's go into governor. Now all of these shapes are closed. Now let's create open shapes like this. Or like this. Alright, so as you can see, it's starting to give me some error messages, and you see why. So as you can see, I have two structures here that have some error, and the structures are basically the slabs. Why? Because the other lines are not closed lines, so it's going to read the lines, as you can see, but it cannot read the closed surface. So in a way, you can have two kinds of lines or three kinds of sketches. Maybe a detail, for example. You know, this allows you to create good details. You can have a detail for just single walls. You can have a detail for closed walls. You can have a detail for all kinds of different things, and so you can assign a property to each sketch, and each sketch will just behave accordingly. So this is a very very powerful BIM application of Freecad. You know, Freecad is finally starting to reveal itself. So I just thought I would show you these things. They're quite interesting. So I hope you did find it useful, and until then, see you until the next tutorial.